Fighting flames, two large fires have crews in Des Moines scrambling to save property and lives. We will take you live to the scene. It is Monday, December 18th. Today in Iowa starts now.
From WHO HD, the local news leader. This is Channel 13 News, Today in Iowa.
Good morning. It is 6:32 and we have a lot of news to get to. A couple of big fires, as you mentioned, and we're going to join some reporters out live on the scene in just a moment.
First, we're going to head over to Jerry Ann and talk a little bit about today's weather.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is starting off foggy this morning. So along and south of I-80, it's difficult to see in spots. Some of the low clouds also producing some mist, which is capable of freezing on contact. Now, temperatures are below the freezing point. We're not seeing any problems on the main roads, but maybe on some of the untreated areas, you will see some slick spots. So slow down during the morning commute. We will see improving weather conditions this afternoon as it will be going from cloudy to sunny. At noon, we'll be up to 45, by 3 o'clock, 52. So a very mild Monday. It will be turning breezy with the winds out of the southwest, but thankfully right now the winds are fairly light. But fog will be your biggest issue this morning.
On the roads today in Iowa, yeah, definitely some fog. This is I-235 looking to the east from 63rd Street. Traffic volume still pretty light, not seeing a lot of slipping and sliding. Let's go over to Euclid. Coming down, looking north from Euclid on 235. Traffic starting to build a little bit. I do have a crash just reported. Highway 65 bypass southbound just before Vandalia. Looks like a 3-vehicle accident there. We'll have an update straight ahead on Today in Iowa.
Okay, thank you, Jim Brown. We go now to breaking news and go live to the scene. Douglas Avenue and MLK just to the west of that very busy intersection this morning. Brooke, this started about an hour ago, we believe, at the Plaza Lanes Bowling and Trophies Sports Bar Complex. Very large, very popular complex there on Douglas Avenue. We have watched this burn for about an hour now.
That's right. It's been, about an hour and a half ago that firefighters first got the call. And Channel 13's Christina Solonikas has been on the scene for a while. Christina, can you give us an update?
Yeah. Just so you know, Brooke and Annie, we're in the corner of 27th and Douglas, and what you can see behind me, which you watched live, is what once was the front entrance of Plaza Lanes. Now that is completely demolished, as well as they're still trying to fight out this fire. It is contained specifically to Plaza Lanes itself. It luckily hasn't hit any of the other local businesses. We talked to Brian O'Keefe a little earlier, who is telling us that the power lines are cut off in this area right now, and O'Keefe told us that they're making sure that there aren't any gas lines, and if they are, to make sure none of those flames hit the gas lines and create, more fires and more problems. In the building, you can see through the windows, there are still flames that are at least 10 to 14 feet tall. Just to give you a perspective, these walls, these exterior walls, are 14 feet high, and you can still see some flames popping up every once in a while. The roof itself is completely caved in. When we first got here, there were 20-foot flames above the already 14-foot exterior building. We saw the iconic bowling guy fall down. The front is collapsed completely. There's at least a dozen fire crews here on the scene, and they still have, like we said earlier, Douglas Avenue is still completely blocked off both ways. People are not allowed to come in or out, so if you're trying to get to work, just to let you know, you're going to have to find an alternative route if this is your normal route.
Christina, we heard them say earlier that they're still very much in a defensive posture, which means they're trying to do what they can to surround and put this fire out. But Brian told us earlier that they believe the fire hadn't spread to some other businesses. Is that what you're still seeing as well, that it's just contained to Plaza Lanes, it hasn't gone to other businesses?
That is correct, Brooke. It is still contained to just Plaza Lanes. There's at least 8 hoses on the building itself. They're not able to go inside the building at all yet. Like you said, they are in a defensive measure, and they will continue to be in a defensive measure until the fire is really taken out. And they don't know how long it's going to take to fully take this fire out. I know Megan is at another fire as well, so they got all hands on deck this morning.
Okay, that's right. Christina, thank you very much. You can see that as consumed Plaza Lanes, actually 3 businesses right there, all connected. Trophy Sports Bar is also there, believed to be complete loss, as well as a Volley's Sand Volleyball Complex. This is the home of the high school state bowling tournament as well, so we will have that coming up. That's going to have to find a new location, at least for the time being. We're going to leave that scene right now as we have another fire situation this morning, and not too far away from there, the corner, the 1400 block of 6th Avenue on the near north side.
There are 3 homes along 6th Avenue. The addresses you can see here on the map are 1410, 1412, and 1416. And our Channel 13 Megan Ruther is on the scene of those fires. And Megan, I know you're just kind of getting there. What can you tell us so far?
Yeah, well, I'm going to step out of the way right away so you can see. This was the first thing I saw when I got to the scene. We're behind the buildings on 6th Avenue. You can see all of these flames really causing, coming out of the flames of the roof, even the sides of the window. There are multiple fire trucks here on the scene. We are told there are 3 buildings involved. I spoke with some neighbors who are outside of their homes right now watching this fire. They said they just came out after it started sometime after 5:30, and they don't know exactly what happened, but says this one building, there are offices involved in there. We are told that 2 people were taken out of the buildings during the fire. We're not sure if anyone was hurt or what their conditions are. Again, this is on 6th Avenue. 6th Avenue is closed in front of this building in the 1400 block, so you will want to avoid that area. And actually, I think I came down on 7th Avenue or 7th Street as well, and that was blocked off. So they really want you to avoid this entire area as they try to get this fire under control. As you can see, they're still working to put out the flames. We will, of course, be here and keep you up to date throughout the morning.
And so, Megan, we don't know at this point if they are all homes. You said buildings, so maybe there are one of them is at least one of them is a business.
Well, that's what people hear, some of the witnesses and the neighbors said, but they weren't sure about all the details. So we are still trying to get some information on that. Again, it sounds like they had to pull 2 people out of the buildings. We are still working to talk to people here on the scene.
Yeah, a tough scene there this morning is so much of the Des Moines Fire Department is already committed to that fire that started earlier up at Plaza Lane, still going on right now. Megan, can you tell us your vantage point right now? Exactly where are you standing, and which direction are the flames from you?
Well, so we are on the street behind 6th Avenue. I can't remember what street this is. But if you look, the flames are pretty much going straight up. In fact, I don't smell any smoke right here. I didn't smell any smoke as I approached the scene. And it looks like another building has gone up in flames, higher flames now. That would be the building to the right of your screen. So I did not see flames coming out of that when I got to the scene here. It looks like they are really attacking that now. Meanwhile, I know they haven't evacuated all of the homes in the area. In fact, this home, just to the right of it, there are people out on the porch watching it. So, of course, we will stay out here and keep an eye on this as they really try to get the homes and the buildings under control.
Yeah, it looks like a significant fire as well. And I know you're just getting to the scene, Megan, so hopefully we'll let you kind of get a little closer and get a better sense of what's happening and perhaps talk to a firefighter who is on the scene. But 3 structures in a row is what we've been told so far, right?
That is correct. And like I said, it seems like one of them, the flames came back up.
Yeah, okay.
A couple of very visible fires. I don't even know if I can say just a couple of fires this morning. This looks like multiple fires at Megan's location, and certainly one very large fire over at Christina's location this morning. These are really big, visible fires. Ones that you're not just looking at smoke coming out of windows and out of roofs. I mean, these are the entire structures are basically burning to the ground at this point. So Des Moines firefighters fires extremely busy this morning. I can only imagine that they have a lot of help from surrounding departments. We will have more details on this. We have some road closure information going on the Des Moines Police Facebook page right now. So if you're interested in road closures around those immediate areas, I imagine there are going to be a number of streets affected by this. You can just see a lot of hoses kind of stretching across streets there. So you probably want to check into that if you have any business to take care of in those areas this morning.
Yeah, it sounds like, so Douglas Avenue, so Douglas in both directions between MLK and Lower Beaver, that area is closed, which we figured it probably would be. And then because of these residential fires, it sounds like 6th Avenue in both lanes closed from Forest to Clark. So that's also a pretty significant area.
Okay, let's kind of reset things here and run back over to the weather department right now to talk a little bit about the way things are going today.
The fog
with Jerry
is the other story of the day. On any other day, that would have been our focus.
Yeah, thankfully the winds are still fairly light this morning, and we do have improving weather conditions in the forecast this afternoon. Stay with us. I'll have more on that when we come back.